Hello everyone, it's me again, and today I am bringing you part 2 of my build series covering Red Hood V2. And before we get started, just to get this out of the way, I was actually able to swap the priming bars for black ones from a C to S, which looked quite nice. And it was kind of a lot of trouble for some reasons we'll get to in a moment, but unfortunately I didn't get any usable footage because my lav mic was not working while I recorded this. So there was no audio whatsoever, and it's just kind of unusable footage at that point. But the process was pretty simple. I just drilled some appropriately sized holes and then tapped them with a 440 tap, and then due to some issues, which I will show you in just a second, had to do a little more custom work. So yeah, that custom work I was talking about was basically just due to the fact that while screwing in a screw to one of the newly drilled and tapped holes, it got a little bit tight on the threads and the head snapped off. And that will be for this one right here. It's not actually holding any weight, the head's totally gone, and I've ground it down a little bit just to be out of the way because I couldn't even get it out, and I didn't want to damage my priming bars. And of course, to hold the weight and achieve, maximum durability, I went ahead and used one of the original holes and drilled through the plastic on the shuttle. You could probably see it there. Yep, and that's our second screw. Just, to hold some of this weight and have good reliability under a heavier spring load. And then of course we've got this other newly drilled hole with the new screw in it. That one worked out fine, just like these two over here. So I mean, all in all, it works. Everything's fine. It just had a little bit of a mishap here, and it looks slightly uglier on this side. And with that out of the way, the first thing I want to do today is actually on the trigger. Ever since we removed the safety, it's having some issues where it can actually click back past the catch. I've experienced this before with other CETA platform mods with the safety delete, and I've fixed it before, so this should be no issue. I just kind of forgot about it after I removed the safety last episode. So that's something we're going to do. And then I also finally have all of my parts in for essentially, completely new internals and a fancy bearing scar that will hopefully work out quite well. And this 12 kilogram spring is one that I've actually had around for a while and used in a different CETA. And we're going to throw it in here. And that's basically all we're going to do for this episode. So I will see you when I've got this thing open and ready to do the tweaking with the trigger. So from this point on, all of my narration will be voiceover done in post-production, because at this point my lav mic decided to crap out, making the rest of the audio totally unusable. And yeah, so with that being said, the first thing I'm doing is installing the new red aluminum trigger, and I will be using the stock spring from the blaster instead of the one included by Worker with the trigger, as the stock one from the blaster seems a little stronger. Okay, and now onto the solution I found for our trigger related issues. I've basically just taken a scrap piece of plastic that was the perfect thickness and built up some of the area with hot glue to make it a better fit, and then drilled a hole in one of the support walls to attach it via a screw. And so far that's been a perfect fix for our issue. And here I'm just swapping the stock spring for this 12 kilogram spring from AK Blaster Mods before we move on to the next step. And as you can see here, I've got our new bolt and bolt sled joined together and ready to go. And as soon as I uninstall the old bolt and bolt sled and toss in the new ones, we can move on to the barrel. Now that we have the upper receiver apart, basically all we have to do is take out these two screws to remove the old barrel and dart gate assembly.
And now we're going to start by installing our brand new worker red aluminum dart gate. And then we'll toss in our new worker red anodized aluminum barrel. And now with our new barrel assembly fully installed, we can move on to installing our new plunge tube. We will be using the stock plunger and O-ring, and we will also not be needing the external padding, so all we need here is the plunger tube itself. I'm also doubtful that this new plunger tube will be a drop-in fit because, as you can see, it's missing all of the external molding that the original plunger tube has that locks it in place. So far it's looking like, although it does not lock in, it might have the ability to prime and fire once the two receivers are mated together. So I'm just giving that a shot, and we'll see what happens when I go to test the thing. So yeah, we finally have everything completely reassembled, and so far I'm able to prime the blaster just fine, but when I fire it, the plunger tube wants to partially launch itself forward, which is an issue obviously, but that's something we can fix in the next episode. And so for now, I think that's going to be all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.